Scattering of light. So we are able to see that the path of the light become visible when the light passes through the colloidal solution. So this is due to the scattering of light. Simply we can say that the scattering of light is depends upon the size of the particle scatter the light. So very simple, you should keep that the size of the particle will be it will be same as the wavelength of the scattered light. So that is the size of the particle is relatively smaller than the wavelength of the light scattered. So this is the condition we should keep in our mind for the scattering of light. So we often observe the Tyndall effect. That means the path of the light we are able to see when the light passes through the colloidal solution. Then the same phenomenon we are able to see in the sunlight passes through the dense forest or even the tiny water droplets in the mist scatter light. So very simple students, the scattering of light will depend upon the size of the particle. If the size of the particle is along the same range as the wavelength of the scattered light or it will be smaller than the wavelength of the scattered light means then only the scattering will occur. So we can say that what is the dependence of the size of the particle with scattering of light. Very simple. When the size of the particle is very small, very fine particle, the scattered light will be blue in color. That means when the white light fall on the very fine particle substance, then what will happen? The light scattered color will be a blue light color. That means it says that the shorter wavelength light will be scattered more when the size of the particle is very small. When the white light falls on the further larger size than that of this previous one, what will happen? The higher wavelength light will be scattered. It may be a red color or a green or yellow, some other things. Okay, orange. So the blue light is a shorter wavelength, red light is a longer wavelength. When the white light falls on the particle, if the particle is very small, blue light will be scattered. Then when the size of the particle is larger, the red light will be scattered. Even further the size of the particle is very large. So what will happen? The scattering will not occur. That means scattering will occur, but the splitting of light not take place. The scattered light will be white in color. So these are all the things given in the book that will be discussed here. The scattering of the light depends upon the size of the particle. It will be what we can able to see in the Tyndall effect. When the size of the particle increases, the scattered light wavelength also increases. If the size is further large, the scattering light will be not at all splitted. The same white light will be comes out.